Apologies from the boy with the cotton candy. I'm sorry I didn't feed you, but you sucker punched me with your eyes. And I don't think I'd fully recovered, and I think I was trying to walk backwards in the vain hope that I'd end up closer to you. Hello, and welcome to my Art Update podcast thingy. This is episode 44. Wasn't I just here? Just the usual deja vu. The purpose of the podcast is to update people who know me, Andrew Woolner, about what's been going on creatively for me over the last week. Of course, some life updates are going to get bundled into that, just because that's what happens. So if you don't know me and you've never heard of me, you can listen, but my goal is not entertainment, so only listen if you're getting something out of the information I'm giving you. If this is your first update and you haven't been keeping up with me over the years, I suggest maybe checking out update number 1, maybe update number 2 to bring yourself up to date sort of prior to this year. Before jumping back here, I don't think it's a good idea to go binge everything up between episode 2 and now. I think that's probably Andrew Woolner overload. I'll do a summary at the end of the year or at the beginning of next year so that, you won't have missed much. I'll have to write that at some point. Anyway, another busy week here. Not quite as frustrating as I've had some time to work today. Tomorrow, Friday, however, is a national holiday, so you can bet I'll be at my limit by the time next Thursday rolls around and I'm recording the next one of these. Let's get into the updates. So, YTG updates. Rehearsals continue for the Consent Show. People are still joining. I have a new person starting on Monday. We have someone else, Tabitha, sort of pulling back a little bit. Schedules are still nuts. Yeah, we're making slow progress, kind of have a better idea of what's going to go into the show now. Now it's just sort of like coming up with ideas and how to execute the ideas for scenes, right? In a way that's not sort of, high school drama class doing like an issues piece. I need thinking time to come up with sort of more of an overall idea for the show. And I'm not sure when I'm going to get that, but maybe Monday morning when everybody's late for rehearsal, maybe that's when I can think. That's sort of an ongoing thing. Nerd Night updates. We're already in production for the Nerd Night on the 17th. As always, if you're interested in watching this online or coming in person, you can get tickets at nerdnight, N-I-T-E, all one word, .tokyo. Oh, sorry. No, that's wrong. No, you can get your tickets by going to tokyo.nerdnight, night being spelled N-I-T-E.com. But yeah, we're changing, the price has gone up a little bit for online tickets because we're changing ticket providers. Our current one, Events Frame, is super unreliable. They sent an email recently that they were going to be changing their pricing scheme, which basically makes it the same as other ticket platforms. The advantage to them is that we had a lifetime sort of membership that exempted us from platform service fees. We only had to pay the credit card processor. And now they're going to get rid of that. I haven't done it yet, but they're going to get rid of it. But having said that, so that our time of free booking's coming to end. But having said that, they actually killed our account for like a week or two without notification and without reason. They said they were under a denial of service attack, but nobody bothered to notify us. So the account was dead. I went to make the ticket link for the November show and I couldn't even log in. And it took them several days to fix it, almost a week to fix that. I don't know how long it was out before that. And so with the account dead, that means every place I had a ticket link, rather than saying something like tickets aren't available, it just showed an error message. So right in the middle of any page where that link was on, it was just like an error message. So it looked terrible. So I'm quite pissed off about that. So very happy. Well, not happy, but I mean, I am happy. We're moving away from them anyway. We've already moved away from them for the YTG tickets. We've moved to RSVPify simply because managing multiple dates on Events Frame is just really hard. They're really, a lot of these ticketing platforms are actually built around things like conferences, where you've got like maybe a main event and then some sub-events you sell tickets for. So you just have, you have tiered tickets, but you don't have tickets for separate dates. And at least RSVPify has the ability to like have separate dates without having to create a new event, a new ticketed event for each date, which is what I used to have to do on Events Frame, which meant if I had to send an email out to everybody, that was kind of a pain in the butt, and it actually didn't do that. It wasn't integrated as well. So anyway, it was just a big pain in the arse. And the biggest plus was that they didn't charge a platform fee. On RSVPify, I can pass that platform fee on to the people buying the tickets, which I think is fair. The issue is, though, with the Nerd Night tickets, that because it's like a percentage plus a fixed rate, so I think it's 1.95% plus 90 US cents. That actually ends up being very high when it's converted to yen. So 1,000 yen ticket basically costs almost 1,200. It's like 1,198 because they charge their own ticket fee and then they try to guess what the payment platform is going to charge us to pass that on to the user. And there's no way to separate those. So anyway, so we're at a point. The reason I'm talking about this under Nerd Night is because I had to do this coming month's Nerd Night under RSVPify. And just if you're buying a ticket, just realize that there'll be a little bit of an extra fee. I did not choose the pass fee on to the customer option for such low price tickets. I instead set like a 10%, sort of service fee, which will probably cover about half of what we're actually going to end up paying in fees. So I think that's sort of a fair division. Anyway, so that's it. Blah, 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 blah. Wow, who wants to hear me talking about fees when I should be talking about art? Let's move on to the next update. Podcasting. We're just waiting for the next recording date. I'm not sure we've set it yet. And I have had no editing time for Wayward Readers over the past few weeks, so that's languishing. All the episodes for Wayward Readers have had a first pass by Kate, and I just need to go through, fix it up, and then I'll probably need to go through again and add like bumpers at the beginning and the end to say things like, hey, sorry, this is late. Or also to like perhaps at the end promote the Does It Hold Up podcast. Okay, photography stuff. I have an upcoming corporate event shoot on November 15th, so I'm really looking forward to that. Events are really kind of my thing. I like doing family portraits. The problem is also with family photos, the local competition is pretty rough. So there's this one guy in particular who does family photography, and he's really good. I mean, he is a better photographer than I am. And if that's not bad enough, he also undercharges by a huge amount. I suspect that photography is not his main source of income, or not one of his main sources of income. I think he might have a full-time job. So he's like a weekend photographer, which means that he's sort of charging beer money prices, whereas I'm charging like sort of going rate for photography prices. And the combination of him being a much better photographer and being much cheaper means that he's kind of impossible to compete with. And there's just not enough clientele for me to get the ones he can't book, right? So anyway, I'm not going to work for peanuts to try to beat his prices, because it's, at a certain point, I like taking photos, and I like taking photos of families and kids, but at a certain point, it's not worth it to walk out the door, right? I could use the time on my own project. I could edit that podcast. So, yeah. Anyway, so Andrew's griping again, but it's okay. Yeah. Anyway, that's what it is. I'm looking forward to that corporate shoot, though. It's actually more. I think it's a party. I think it's like it's some kind of event for the event management company that booked me in the summer to do the HP shoot. They're having some kind of event, or they're managing. No, actually, I think they're doing it for another company. Anyway, and they sold them a photography package to go with the event this time, and they based that on the photos I took this summer. So that means that the client actually wants me. They don't want a generic photographer. So despite the fact that it's a commercial job, so I mean, how much art is in that? It's good. It's good. It's nice to be sort of valued for the type of work that you actually do, as opposed to shoot something and then someone wonders why it doesn't look like National Geographic or, People Magazine or whatever. All right, more stuff, life updates. Yeah, I'm already thinking about what I'm going to do when I'm back in Canada this winter. But by the way, if you are in Canada, if you're in Toronto, Kitchener area over the winter, get in touch. I've been saying that every episode since I booked my tickets. Things I'm planning to do, I'm going to do some sewing. I'm going to be bringing clothes that I have here so I can patch them while I'm in Canada, because I like doing that, but I'm very slow at it and I really don't have time. I like repairing things. I'm not like a beautiful stitcher or anything like that. I like repairing things. The kind of clothes I wear, it's okay if it looks a bit, Frankenstein monster. And I also like darning. I like darning socks, and I like repairing the sort of external pockets that I have on my kilts with the sort of darned, sort of woven patches. So I'm hopefully going to be doing some of that during the vacation part of the trip, if I'm not running around doing too many running around vacation-y, Christmas shopping-y things. I'm hoping also to get back to practicing and playing guitar regularly and learning some new stuff. I'm hoping that will sort of kickstart me. I hope I can do it in Canada, and then when I come back here, I'll sort of be motivated. I did kind of want to do that last time I went to Canada 5 years ago, and actually I ended up picking up the guitar I have there twice. So I'm hoping this time I actually sit down. I've got a couple of books. I might do an online course. I want to learn some blues stuff, maybe. I've got a couple other things I want to try out. Yeah, I've got a couple skills I want to pick up. So I'm planning to sort of try to set aside some time every day to do that. And of course, here I'm imagining the time will be empty, but I remember last time I was constantly sort of working. I mean, I still have my university classes to teach, which I'll have to be, sort of recording for online use. Might be doing some office hours there. And there's probably a bunch of stuff I'm forgetting. There's probably some paperwork for YTG that I have to do that I'm not thinking about. Anyway, but these are my hopes. These are my dreams. And what are you listening to this if not for my hopes and dreams? I guess. Anyway, until next week, Andrew out.